drag panel of Stream Queens Con 3. Before we get started and introduce our amazing panelists, I want to take the time to recognize two things. The first of which is can we give a round of applause and thanks to our amazing mods Dola and Opa Milk who helped me set up this tech today so we could give you a full immersion forest fantasy experience. And second of all, don't forget that it's World's AIDS Day and that Stream Queens is currently doing a fundraiser. Check out and chat how to donate now. All right, I'm Lexi, but to my what side is this? The only side with people on it is, is Tiffany. Tiffany, please tell everyone about yourself.
Good time zone, my friends. My name is Tiffany Witcher, otherwise known as the VTubing charity Witcher on Twitch. I've done over 60 charities on this platform, raising money from organizations such as the Lupus Foundation to Trevor Project. I've also am an accessibility consultation and advocate who's worked with companies such as Square Enix and has helped make Twitch with accessibility options and been trying to fight for them. And lastly, I'm a voice actor. You may have heard my voices in games such as Knockout Kings or House Party. Thank you for having me here today.
Oh my gosh, that's so freaking cool. Thank you, Tiffany. Next, my demon mother, two-dimensional artiste, Vivi, Demon Queen Vivi. Hi, welcome.
Hi, hi. Yeah, my name is Demon Queen Vivi. I'm an evil demon fae from the Fey Wilds of Hell. But I'm a live stream model maker. I do art and rigging for live stream models like Lexi over here. And yeah, and I stream games and all my other crazy shenanigans on stream.
Shenanigans. Always shenanigans
Shenanigans.
with you, mother.
Always, always.
Up next, we have another fairy creature, the gorgeous Nimbus.
Hi, I'm Nimbus Faye. I got big boobs, lots of pixie dust, and no brain cells.
Love.
Yeah, I stream on Twitch, and yeah, I've been a VTuber for about two years now. I feel like that's like I'm an elder. I'm an elder Faye. Like once you get past the 2 year mark, it's just like, oh my god, back in my day, like we didn't have this or that, but whatever. I'm just here to vibe and chill out, and like, yeah, thank you for having me, yo. Thank you.
Absolutely. Next, we have the amazing Portia, Stream Queen sibling. Hi, Portia. How you doing?
Hello. Yes, my name is Portia Gesa. I don't know, but I might be the newest to VTubing on the panel. I could be wrong. I also have to apologize because my expression recognition is going to be out of this world because I am still in drag from the previous panel, and the computer does not know how to handle that. So if it looks like I'm pissed off, I'm not. It's just because I have no eyebrows.
Love it.
But yes, I'm fairly new. I think I've only been VTubing for about 2 months now, so very very new.
Brand spanking new. And last but not least, we have cute Bun Bun over here. Josh, welcome in, Josh Skellington, VT. How are you doing?
Hello. Hello, everybody. My name is Josh Skellington. You might see me in a lot of Stream Queen chats because that's normally where I hang out. I'm also a fairly new VTuber. I streamed a little bit back in the day, like old days of Twitch, but just got back into it. So about 3 or 4 months. So I'm also fairly new. But yeah, I play a lot of Final Fantasy 14 and pretty much any horror genre. So yeah, hello.
Hello, hello. And my name is Lexi. I'm the two-dimensional manifestation of Alexis Atari. When she's too fucking lazy to do makeup, you'll find me on her channel. My two-dimensional mother is Demon Queen Vivi, and my sole purpose in life is to plot evil and feed her souls. Hi, it's nice to meet all of you. And don't forget everyone watching along in chat, if you click the cute little green heart over the screen, you can follow all of us at once. Do it now. The evil commands you.
Do it.
Do it. So that this panel, we're gonna not all of us do drag, but all of us do VTubing and are VTubers. And but I'm sure all of us, know about drag, watch drag, maybe have dabbled in drag, who knows? And I want to talk about, similarities, overlaps, parallels, especially how it relates to Twitch. So first, drag, The whole reason we're here, Stream Queens Con 3. And blind question, no context. Just want to ask all of you in your own words, what is drag? Tiffany.
Okay, so I have friends who do drag. But they so my idea of drag is someone basically dressing up as the opposite gender. But the gender, but the makeup is a little more elaborate, it's colorful, it's amazing. I have I can't remember the king drag kings friends, so I know more of that side, and they have like the amazing chest plates, and it makes me jealous. And then like they have like more masculine makeup, but but they can still be more like really colorful and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I think drag is. It's just like a beautiful representation of the other gender, but with like so many colors, and I just love it.
And you're going to hear my dogs barking in this forest or in this panel. It's unavoidable. Rah, 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 rah.
Honestly, we should all just stop talking and let them speak, honestly.
Yeah,
I
they have
mean,
words to say.
they do probably
My
have thoughts
intention.
and feelings about drag. Everybody does. Vivi, in your own
um,
words, what is drag?
I don't know drag too well, but I do know that to me it's like it's a form of like expressing yourself and being able to do that in a um very vibrant and exciting way, and being able to present yourself in a very hyper feminine or hyper masculine way, which is kind of super fun, and I love it.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. Nimbus, what is drag?
What is drag? That is the question. Um, n- Drag to me is just like I guess like an exaggeration of gender expression. I want to say, or the exuberance of gender expression. Sort of coinciding to like performances and entertainment and things like that. And yeah, it's just it's a crazy journey and such a amazing art form. And I feel like I'm learning new things each day about it. So I'm excited to learn more about everyone's perspective on it here. Yeah.
We love that. Next, someone who knows nothing about drag at all. No, I'm just kidding. Portia might actually, Portia and I know each other IRL doing drag together. Portia, what is drag?
Mhm. Absolutely. I mean, there's plenty of people in the town where we met who would agree that I know nothing about drag, but that's not here nor there. Uh, um, I think that drag, I, as an art form, is an exploration of gender and the necessary performative nature of our society. And that is, translated largely into concepts of femininity and masculinity and androgyny. But it can be so many things. And for me, um, my drag is largely kind of parody inspired. Like I consider it the greatest compliment if I get off stage and somebody goes, "That was stupid." That is the nicest thing you can say about a performance or a look of mine. So that's what drag is to me.
Absolutely. Josh, what
Oh,
is drag?
so I don't do drag, but when I lived in Pittsburgh, I did work at the club. So I had drag queen friends.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Um, for those that know me, I also booth at like a lot of anime conventions, so I do see some drag there, like traditional drag and people who mess with gender and all that stuff. And I have friends here on Twitch who also do drag. So for me, I think drag at its core, I think is just about providing a fantasy. That's the way I see it.
Ah, fantasy, my favorite word to
Yes.
describe drag, honestly. Fantasy and clown.
Yes.
That's my drag, a clown
Yes.
fantasy.
Maybe the
Yeah.
clown is the fantasy.
Oh.
So before we jump in, I want to talk about some behind the scenes stuff, which we're going to talk about today, both drag and VTubing. But just
Mhm.
so we kind of can know a bit about more about each other too, I'm curious what everyone's experience level is with drag. Are you a performer? How long have you been performing? Do you go to shows a lot? Have you only seen a few things here and there? Maybe you're a number one Stream Queens fan. Myself, I've been doing drag for about 6 years. Started in San Francisco, no longer live there, but was able to continue doing drag online here on Twitch, and that's why I'm here today, looking gorgeous, I guess. But I'm curious if we could just let's go back to Josh and start on that end again. You know, what's your experience level with drag? I know you said you worked at the club, and you
Yes.
said you like to chat a lot in Stream Queens chats too. But have you ever tried drag? I'm curious.
Not drag. I would say like I'm a casual cosplayer.
Ooh,
And I've dabbled with like, doing the opposite gender. They call it like crossplaying.
yeah.
I don't do it too much anymore because now I'm kind of like on the artist side, like when I go to conventions. So I just want to be comfortable. But yeah,
Cool.
it's yeah.
And Portia, it feels silly asking. I feel so. I feel so silly asking you this question because I know the answer so intimately. But what is your experience with drag?
Well, today for the very first time, I picked up a contour stick. No,
Shut up!
no,
Put on your very
I.
first pair of lashes.
Oh, girl, they were hanging off by a centimeter in this last panel. But um, I've been doing drag, I guess, for about 10 years now. I've only been doing it mediocre to well for the last six of those. Um, but I was very, very active in the San Francisco Bay Area nightlife prior to the pandemic, and then performing multiple shows a week. Um, and then when we all got told to stay home, and rightly so, I turned, as so many other drag performers did, to streaming on Twitch in drag. And it's so wonderful to be able to be in full face and have a breastplate on and be wearing sweatpants and no heels. Uh,
Let me
tell you
tell
what.
ya. Oh yes.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how eager I am to return to the club because it is all I get to combine all of my favorite things in doing drag when I do it here at home.
Amazing. And Nimbus, I think I had heard or read somewhere in our communication that you have tried drag before or done
Yes,
drag.
I kind of have an odd transition story with drag. So I was getting into drag, God, what is time? Like 2020, 2021, right before the pandemic. Um, and pandemic hit, so that threw a wrench into everything. And I've always been like a creative person, and I need an outlet for that. And I was like, well, shit, I can't really do anything for this right now. And then VTubing kind of came along, and naturally was like, oh,
Ooh.
I can be someone. What? I can be a big tittied fairy on the internet. What the what? And then yeah, it was kind of like
Endless
it
possibilities.
Fuck
endless
yes.
possibilities.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so it kind of worked naturally for me like that. So, oh, and I've been a watcher of stream queens like Elix and Deer. Like, I don't want to say like I'm OG, but like, yeah, like before I was a VTuber, like they were my like nightly Twitch watching streamers for
That's
that. So,
so
yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's so freaking awesome. And that's kind of eventually the conversation I want to get at today is like, yeah, I've had similar feelings discovering VTubing. Like, holy shit, I could be anything.
Hmm.
Vivi, how about you? What's your experience level with drag?
Like I said earlier, I haven't really experienced a lot of it actually. I would love to one day. It's a goal of mine to go see a show.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, I have no experience.
If only
I am
you
the
knew some
baby.
drag queens to give you a recommendation.
I do now, Tony. I do. I love to hear about that later. Show me.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. And I think that's such a magical place to be in any like
Mhm.
whether you're seeing VTubers for the first time today or you're hearing about drag for the first time today. Hold on to that magical moment of like pure not knowing anything about how it's done, the illusion is just so amazing and wonderful.
Yeah.
Tiffany, how about you? Have you ever been to see a drag show?
I have. I saw one drag show. That was that was before the pandemic, though.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, I haven't seen one since. And then I watched Elix. I found Elix do that famous video of this mercy thing when Elix is dodging from left and right. I was like, oh, that's my energy. And then I learned about deer. And I watch deer at night too. If I'm staying up super late and deer's on, I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna watch deer. Okay, cool. I have someone
Absolutely.
to watch right now. So I've known about Stream Queens for a long time.
Oh my
And I'm a
god.
part of Sisters of the Fog. So we did a collaboration with Stream Queens.
Hell yeah. That's so
Yeah.
awesome.
Love Sisters of the Fog.
So to start it back off, on this, it's kind of strange. I feel like one end of the table is like more like I create a spectrum here unintentionally of like drag versus drag knowledge versus VTubing knowledge, maybe. Um, but I'm curious, if you ever wonder how things are done behind the scenes in drag, like how do people make their hair look that good, or what about the body, or how's the makeup done, or if you think, if you do drag like myself or Portia regularly, what's one thing that you wish more people knew about? For me, honestly, I wish people knew more about uh, the intensity of wig wearing, like any type of wig. Pull it,
Oh,
especially if you have a
Mm.
lot of
Oof.
hair. Oh my gosh, pulling it up behind your head and then post like, gluing your baby hairs down, making sure they don't pop out, making sure your wig don't prolapse in the back. Like, whew, it's a lot. But that's one thing I wish people appreciated more, because I think the standard is so high lately for you to have like, oh, a snatched hairline, or like, oh my god, your wig has to be so perfectly styled. But wow, is that all very difficult to do behind the scenes. Stephanie, how about you? Ever wonder how it's done?
As a cosplayer, I know a lot about
Oh
drag.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I used to be a cosplayer, and I had like a wig that literally weighed about 8
Oh
pounds.
my gosh.
Because of the support that had on it. It was two wigs. It's a character named Bard from League of Legends. And
Oh.
Bard is actually a non-gender character, and that's why I did it, because I'm non-binary.
Mm-hmm.
So the wig was about 8 pounds. It was
Ooh.
heavy, and
Nothing
I had
says
to actually look up
non-binary
a
like a
drag queen. Huh?
nothing says non-binary like an 8-pound wig. Let me tell you. Non non-binary to non-binary. Yes, absolutely. Please continue.
I looked up a drag queen tutorial how to make big hair on YouTube. I forget the content creator. It was so long ago. But
Mm-hmm.
that actually helped me make the wig because make the wig so that it's because originally I had like 4 wigs for this, but I knocked it down to 2 because no, 3 because of this tutorial, and made it much lighter. But I did have to stuff it. So yeah, it was great. No, I'm really thankful for the drag community because they taught me so much, especially with makeup and cosplaying and stuff and sewing. So yeah.
Yes. Yes, and Vivi, how about you? Any curiosities how it's done?
I think kind of going off what you said, I think with how you do your wigs or your makeup too, it's so extravagant and it's so cool. I'm over here trying to do eyeliner and I can barely do it. It's that kind of stuff is just it's amazing to me, like what you can do with all the stuff that you have at hand with all the makeup and all that stuff. It's cool.
Eyeliner is the line work in the in the drag
Yeah.
world. It's like line art, just painful, painful, painful times. But yeah, it's weird you mentioned that, Vivi, because when I started to look at digital art, and what you do, I could draw so many similarities between like layering an art file and layering makeup on my face. Like it's kind it's just a lot of layers, a lot of process. There's a whole
Yeah.
process to it, and I think
Yeah.
that's what's so amazing about both of these art forms.
Yeah.
both
Yeah. I can see
VTubing and
that.
drag is like an onion.
Oh
Yo,
God.
there you go.
A bloomin' onion. Hell
It was an onion all
yeah.
along.
Nimbus, how about you? Any tips or tricks you'd like to take with you if you ever grace the stage again?
I just if it feels right, it feels right. Like whatever makes you happy, like you can do whatever you want. Like I could be a big tittied fairy on stage,
You
like
could.
that's not
Yeah.
stopping me at anywhere, I just if it feels right, it feels right. Like multiple things in life, not just drag. You know, like if the shoe fits, speaking from a fairy godfather, if the shoe fits, you know, you be your Cinderella. You know, like I don't know. It's just yeah, just do what makes you happy. Like yeah, don't care what other people think. Like yeah, I want to do cartwheels on stage with wings and a breastplate. Like I'm gonna fucking do it. You know, I'm gonna freaking do it.
Oh
So yeah,
yeah. That would be really interesting to figure out how to on the stage like get the nice jiggle that's going on as you hear on screen, but still retain like a very masculine shape, you know? That would be I'm kind of curious if you
I'm
could
gonna
like
get my test tubes and vials and work on
right,
that. I'm gonna do a
right.
scientific hypothesis on
Yes.
that.
Experiment.
The velocity of the booba. Like yes, okay, I'm working on this now. This is my next project.
The science of drag booba. Yes.
Drag booba, yes.
Yes. Being
Drag
I,
boobaologist
I
here,
need
right?
I
Gonna do
need
that.
There you go.
I'm waiting for the coffee table book, please.
Oh
Please.
yes, yes. It's just
Poor
gonna be like Kim K, just pictures of
Oh my
just
god.
booba, just selfie boobas.
Yeah. Bestseller. Oprah's top book list.
Mhm.
Portia, how about you? Any BTS you'd like to share? That you think maybe goes unseen or is unique to drag?
Yeah, I mean, well, there's also worth mentioning that when you proposed this question in the group chat, I was like, "Why are we talking about K-pop?" And then I realized that BTS is behind the scenes, because the internet has melted my brain. Um, but I think like from a practical standpoint, I wish that we would talk about skincare more in relation to makeup.
Oh,
Of like you can have
true.
all the best products in the world, but if you haven't moisturized your skin, if you're using like makeup wipes all the time instead of like a more gentle cleanser, you're damaging your skin. Not to say I don't use make I totally use makeup wipes. Don't worry, I get it. After like being in drag for 6 hours at a time, you just want it off some nights. Um, but yeah, talking about the skincare aspect of it, and then also more broadly, I would love a little bit more awareness on just how expensive it is as an
Mm-hmm.
art form, and like you said before, like how the standard is so much higher these days. Um, and like for people who don't do drag to realize just how unattainable some of that standard is for the average queen financially.
I feel like that's another. I'm gonna write that down because that's another parallel in VTubing. I
Yeah,
feel, like
Oh,
Mhm.
yes, it
there's a
is.
big
it's
One
parallel.
hundred
expensive.
percent.
Yeah,
One hundred
like
percent.
it's expensive to start, but you don't necessarily have to have like your full blown amazing. I want to talk, but detailed model. um, to start, like you can do a PNG or uh, they actually have some really good PNG technology where you can get multiple expressions going, or just like
Hmm.
I
Oh
even
yeah.
played around in Live 2D with something super simple. It was a pain in the ass, but I'm glad I did it. And like it's not perfect, but it works. And I think
Yeah.
that's something in drag that is very similar. Like sometimes you just want to make it work and have fun. It doesn't need to be, RuPaul extravagant. It's about making it look and feel that way for yourself and the audience. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a very good point, Portia. How about you, Josh? Any BTS stuff that's not related to K-pop but drag?
Yeah, I don't know a lot about K-pop. Sorry. I was gonna go back. I was gonna go back to the wig point because I mean, I wear them sometimes, like when I'm at conventions,
Hmm.
and if people don't know, you get very hot. Not
Oh
only are they
yeah.
expensive, you get very hot. Your head is a body part that is used to release your body heat. So when you're like basically trapping that inside, you sit there and
Mhm.
sweat. So especially for like drag artists that are like sitting at a computer with like 3 or 4 ring lights on them, it gets very hot.
What?
Hmm.
Yeah.
No, there's not an
Yeah.
AC right next to me.
I'm that person that goes up to the convention staff and I'll be like, "You guys need to turn this up. The AC needs to be
Oh,
up."
bless
It is
you.
not I'm not afraid to be mean about it either. Like
Yeah.
I hate being hot
I feel that
That's
in
as
a
well.
bad way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um but yeah, and I figured we would touch on it later, but I want to also add to Portia's point about like drag being expensive because I think with like VTubing, I mean, rigs can get kind of pricey, but it's like once you've invested in it, it's like other than like buying like extra outfits for it and like other accessories, like we're pretty much good to go, right? But I think
Mhm.
with drag, like makeup specifically, is makeup is finite. It runs out.
Yeah.
Everybody hits the pan eventually,
Yeah.
you know? So I just
Yeah.
want people to realize, like, when you're watching like the stream queens or like any other drag artists on Twitch, like that costs money. They're not just, they're providing an extra layer of experience to the stream for you. Like if you're able to support them in any way, like financially, like definitely tip them or, you know, yeah.
Cue the tipping bots in chat.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
It's expensive.
that's a good point too. And as someone who personally, I'm obsessed with the makeup part of drag, and using a lot of different products. Some are high end, some aren't. Like high end products do not equal good quality in the makeup world either. You don't have to break the bank to know how to apply makeup really well and make it look good, especially on Twitch. I mean, come on, you can mess with your camera a little bit. The lighting is very forgiving on Twitch, let me tell you.
Mhm.
And so like Twitch is a perfect place, and that's something I navigated moving from IRL to Twitch is to experiment with maybe cutting corners or using a little bit less or making your makeup stretch longer. That's a really good point to bring up. Thank you.
Mhm.
So the last question I think we're gonna do about drag, and then we're gonna move on to the meats, the VTubans, the VTubers. Um, how does everyone feel about, there's a whole panel about it later this week, but I'm curious here how everyone feels about drag IRL versus drag online. Like, do you think they're largely different? Do you think like do you enjoy one more than the other if you've seen both? How do you kind of feel about that? Let's start with Josh.
Um, I feel like honestly, now that I was able to discover that there's drag on Twitch, I feel like like because I'm a nerd. I'm on the computer all the time, and it just feels like home to me. Just like being able to like
Mhm.
feel like I'm going to the club without going to the club, if that makes sense,
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
um,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's nice like feeling like I have a community here because I feel like drag artists are kind of like they're like our heroes,
Yes.
or villains, if
Villain.
that's your thing. I love a good villain.
Well, I guess, yeah. My villainous ways. I can't help it.
Taught you well.
Yeah.
I never said I was the role model.
Portia, as someone who does drag IRL and on Twitch, how do you feel about it?
I am very nervous. Can you repeat the question?
For 500 points in the interview category, Portia Gesa. How do you feel about drag IRL versus as a VTuber? How do you feel about drag IRL versus drag online?
I mean, I think there's like pros and cons as a performer. I've done both. I've attended both deeply or intensely. Like I said before, the comfort aspect of being online cannot be understated. Um,
Hmm.
Even to the point where like I put on some kitten heels last week, and I like after 2 hours my feet were dying. And before the pandemic, I could have worn 6-inch stilettos for 8 hours and
Hmm.
been mostly fine. Um, but being in person, you get to see choreography more. You get to see a whole bunch of like creativity surrounding how to pull off an effect or a reveal in the moment. So I think they both have really really valuable things to present, not only to the performer's experience but also to the audience.
Good points. Nimbus, how do you feel about drag IRL versus drag online?
I think the thing for me that was really a nuance to me for drag online was how personal you could get with the streamer, because like
Mhm.
for most queens, you see them for like a couple performances, maybe once a month, maybe once a year, whatever, and that's kind of like all you get for the most part. But like when you go to someone's stream like every night or every week, it's like you kind of not say build a friendship, but you build this connection with them that's really, really cool. And like, I just feel like that this is something that you've never had in the drag world before. Like, it's always been kind of been like a nuance, like a mystery, like, ooh. And like, it's just, it's that was really to me, see, especially the process. Like, I love queens that, um, their makeup or like start the stream like doing their makeup. Like, that's so freaking
Mm-hmm.
cool to see, especially when you're
Mhm.
starting drag and just seeing like how it's done and like if they give tips and tricks and things like that. Like, it's great for all levels, but that's something for me that I love, as someone who doesn't go to the club like too much now, and things like that. So yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, honestly.
Evie, I know you haven't gotten to see a drag show IRL yet, but have you caught any drag online, and how do you feel about it?
I don't think I have caught any online yet, at least, but I do feel that knowing that there is a huge community of it online, that I feel like it's a lot more accessibility where people can go
Mm-hmm.
and be able to find, people on Twitch to watch and see them perform and wearing their makeup and stuff. And I think that's really cool. And as someone who doesn't has never seen that stuff before, really, it's now I can instead of having to go out, I can easily just go and be able to like watch you or someone else be doing it or all that stuff. So I think that's really cool. You
Absolutely.
know.
The accessibility is amazing. Like,
Hmm.
maybe you don't live in a big metropolitan area. You have to drive far away even to get to a drag
Yeah.
show. You can just see it online. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Stephanie, you mentioned you watch a lot of Deer late at
Yeah,
night. How do
yeah.
you how do you feel about drag online?
I agree with Vivi. It's a lot more accessible. Like I don't have to
Hmm.
worry about because I'm a VTuber with chronic illnesses. I can't step outside without the
Mm-hmm.
like the fear of death. So
Yeah.
I have that. I love watching drag queen or drag king streamers online because it just works really really well, and it's very good for people like to just enjoy and sit down on the couch or the computer or whatever. Then and it does give that little bit of intimacy to get to know that person a little more, because yeah, a drag show is about an hour 2 hours, but a stream can go from 4 and sometimes a subathon, so you constantly have that intimacy you have with that person, with that streamer
Hmm.
that you have there.
I love that all of you are talking about like this intimacy with drag streamers, because that's too something that I enjoy a lot. Like when I would go out and perform in shows, I would always hang around after and like schmooze with
Hmm.
people, have a few drinks, be like, "Hey, yeah, thanks for coming." Like stay in drag. While I know like sometimes people are wiping on the face, they're like, "Bye, gotta go home." And so I love that moment of actually just like sort of interacting with people in drag. And I feel like that's a lot easier to do on, my side from on a Twitch channel. And so it's really heartwarming to hear that a lot of people feel it's more accessible that way too, or you
Hmm.
just feel like you can talk with them maybe a little bit easier than if you were in a crowded club in person. That's really awesome. Well, that was a mouthful about drags, and I saw some people in chat are like, "What is going on? What is this? What are VTubers?" I don't know. Let's find out. Let's talk about VTubers. They come in all shapes and sizes, all different types of tech, 2D, 3D, PNG, uh, probably more types than that. But just as we did before, excuse me, with drag, I'd like to go down the line, starting with Tiffany. And could you tell us in your own words, what is a VTuber? What makes a VTuber? And what kind of VTubers exist? Tiffany, you're
Oh shit.
on.
I muted myself because I was drinking. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. Round two, go. To me, a VTuber is a virtual avatar that is can be from PNG, 2D, 3D. That is used to express yourself on any streaming service such as YouTube, making videos, TikToks, or Twitch. Right here.
Nice and concise. Phoebe, what is a VTuber?
Kind of same thing with Tiffany. It's just a great way to express yourself. It could be PNG, 3D, 2D. You can be really anything. You could be a potato if you really wanted to. uh,
Yeah.
Do you speak from experience?
I may
Oh
have.
yeah, I've seen this potato.
but but it's great. It could be it's performers, it's artists, it's a whole group of people that are able to express themselves in the way they want to, which is great.
That's awesome. And anybody here, correct me if I'm wrong, just in case no one in chat understands the difference between 2D and 3D, because you're probably looking at all of us and be like, oh my gosh, y'all look so amazing in 3D. What do you mean? 2D refers to the art itself as two-dimensional vectors versus 3D is a 3D model, like sometimes you see in video games where they sculpt the whole thing in a program and then skin it. But
Mhm.
I think all of us are 2D except for Portia, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm 3D.
Yeah. I know Vivi does have a 3D model. I've seen it.
I do.
But yeah, people use both or I think I see a lot of people here also using PNGs in their streams. So, there's no like that's what I really love about VTubers is there's no right way to do it kind of as long as you're, a virtual avatar. Same with drag. There's no like right way to do it as long as you're expressing yourself through the art of drag. But Nimbus, in your own words, VTubers, what are they?
VTubers. Oh God. See, that's such even a broader term for me because like they could be anything. It could be a
Yeah.
potato with eyes, like as you said
Look,
before. Like it could be anything.
it
Like
really could.
I I'm there's lamp VTubers. There's there's a
Lamp,
gun
really?
VTuber I know. Yeah. Yep.
There's a Jesus one.
Yeah.
Jesus. Like the possibilities to me are even more endless, and you can do anything. Like you can do ASMR, you can do gaming, you can do comedy, you can do cooking,
That's true.
anything. Like it's the possibilities are endless, and that's what I love about VTubing. Is like it's not a small box; it's a very big box.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, Google says is a virtual avatar that does stuff. That is what the Google
Mm,
says. But
mm, mm.
anyway. But yeah.
Portia, as someone newer to VTubers, what is a VTuber to you?
I don't really feel like I have much to add that hasn't been said already. I got to for this character. I got this question. I got to be honest with you.
Oh, that's chill. And Josh, how about you? Anything to add?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I think everyone pretty much hit all the big points, but I do want to say like I appreciate that Portia's up here with like the different style model, like the 3D model, because correct me if I'm wrong, Portia, you use a different program than what we use, correct?
Yes, yeah. I
Okay.
use
Yeah.
VC Face.
Yeah, so there's VC Face, we use VTube Studio. But yeah, it's basically like if you imagine like a picture of or like a portrait of somebody and like you remove all the layers and you separate everything. That's kind of how we're 2D, but we kind of look 3D with
Mhm.
the way we're moving around on screen.
Separating into all the tiny pieces parts.
Yes.
Sounds easier than it is, trust me.
It's not easy.
No, I feel bad for artists. I really do.
Let's talk about that next. Artistry and rigging. Um, how did you get into VTubers, model making, or rigging? Josh, how did you get into VTubing, and do you do any model making, rigging?
So I don't do model making. And I want to say I think the first experience I had with what like a VTuber was, I was actually boothing at a convention here in Tampa, like I want to say 2021. One of my table neighbors, her booth was a VTubing booth. Like she had like a monitor that you could like interact with, and there was like curtains and stuff so you could like talk to her. I was like, this is really cool. But then I didn't hear about it for a while. And I'm not just saying this because you're here, Lexi, but I think like from like watching other stream queens, they would like read into you. I was like paying attention to more what it was. Yeah, because that's all I really
Me.
watch on here.
Mm.
Yeah. And then there was the VTuber takeover event. And I was like, okay, I just got to do this. Like I've been wanting to get
Mm,
back into
mm.
streaming, and it seemed like a good way for me where I can like express myself and be comfortable with myself. I was like, yeah, I'm doing this.
I love that. That's That's so awesome to hear. I think that's one of the greatest things about VTubing is, feeling comfortable, feeling expressive, and yeah, that's fucking awesome. Portia, tell us, Portia, how much did you make this model? Did you make it from scratch? Did you customize it? How did this version of Portia come to life? I'm curious. I actually don't know.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a long story. So I initially, I am trans non-binary, and I was like having a lot of anxiety about being like having myself in front of the camera. So I really desperately wanted to like an alternative, something that I could maybe not be perceived constantly, because my day job also requires lots of perception of me constantly. So at first, I wanted to pull my Final Fantasy 14 character directly, like that, use the assets out of the game. Um, and about 9 hours into a 70-minute YouTube tutorial, I realized I might have been a little bit over my head.
I love that.
So I looked up how to make this, and actually, I really love this. I made this using a program called Vroid Studio. And it was totally free. Like, going back to cost of like, I do want to upgrade my VTuber eventually, and I believe there is some conversation being had about that. But that's a
Ooh.
Ooh.
but this was totally free. VRid Studio is totally free. The VC Face program that I use to like actually stream is totally free as well. So like I really appreciate that there are resources if someone wants to get into VTubing, if they want to have a totally customized character, they need you're gonna shell out some money, but there is a totally free option to get started.
That's awesome. I love that. Thank you for sharing, Portia. Nimbus, how about you? How did you get into VTubing, and do you make any model or do rigging yourself, or who do you work with?
So I do not do any modeling or rigging, but I have recently gone into some like VTuber concept consulting, I guess, like design.
Ooh.
Like if people have this like idea, they're like, I have this design, I have this concept, like, what do you think of it? And I'm like, oh, this is really cool. Like as a character, if someone comes to me like with my model, like hypothetically, like I came to myself. You know what I mean? Like I brought my model. Someone was like, okay, I want to be a say so Christian VTuber. Does
Okay.
this work? And I'm gonna be like, well, you might want to change up some things, maybe, or whatever, just like little things like that. I love design. I went to college for visual communications and things like that. So and that's my only like expertise with VTubing. I can draw a stick figure. Like that's I'd be a stick figure VTuber
Yo, that would
if
still be
that was the
tight.
case.
Yo.
But yeah, I Nimbus is based off my D&D character I played for, oh god, almost 6 or 7 years now, and I loved him, and I saw this thing. I was like, I can literally make my character and just be them on the internet. Like it
Hmm.
was the concept blew my mind. So that's how I got into it. I had already gotten some commissions done through the years of Nimbus, and I kind of brought this up to my model dad, Zika Alpha, and he worked his magic, and yeah, I think you can do VTubing from anything. MMOs, D&D, your own imagination, Pinterest. I told people to go to Pinterest and just put things together that you like and just go to an artist and see what they can do with it, and like yeah, but that's my experience personally. So but yeah, if y'all want to hit me up for some stick figure comps, you can hit me up. My PayPal is no, I'm just kidding. I'm just
Might have to
kidding.
message you later.
I kind of want to make a stick figure model now. I feel like
Oh, you
it'd be
should.
done so quick. You'd just be like, it'd be good practice, right?
It would be.
Right?
It's a 2 hour wait time. 2 hours,
Yeah.
I'll do it and send it to
Day
you.
turnaround. That's
Imagine the leap motion tracking for that.
Oh my
That would be
God.
incredible.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
You could probably get like real complicated with it if you wanted to.
Probably.
Mhm.
Um, thank you for sharing that, Nimbus. I'm
Yeah.
actually so glad to have such a nice spread of people who bring different abilities to the table. For Nimbus, you mentioned you don't you don't do any of the art yourself, but you consult and you work with a lot of people in collaboration. That has also been my experience so far. But Vivi, you make and rig everything for yourself, yes?
I do.
And how did you get into that?
Well, I got back into Twitch, and then I wanted to kind of get back to like to streaming because I didn't stream for a long time. Uh, but I started noticing people were doing like these things called VTubers. I was like, oh, what's that? So I like, looked into it, and found out it's people who bring art to life. And me being an artist, I was like, wait, I can make my characters move, and I could be them. So I sat down and I tried to I tried to learn the program Live 2D, which is the big 2D program for doing all the stuff. And it took me a while, but I figured
Mm,
it out. And I gave up at first. I went to Vroid, the program you mentioned earlier.
really?
Yeah, I did a Vroid, did 3D for a little bit, and then my stubbornness decided to try it again. And so I came back full force, and I've been doing live 2D models for like 2 years now. And um, yeah, I make all my models from like this model to Lexi's to weird stuff like I said earlier, potatoes. I made a potato model, and all sorts of weird fun stuff. So it's been a journey.
Such a beautiful journey. Definitely, if you guys get the chance to check it out, check out Vivi's social for evolution. One thing I like the most about your art is seeing like the side by side evolution, and then also
Mm-hmm.
kind of, also kind of, maybe this is the narcissist in me, but like seeing myself, the daughter, like in that progression, I'm like, yes, I land about
Mm-hmm.
right here. And even since doing my model and rigging, I've seen you like just excel even more and more with the shading and the little details, and oh, it's so freaking cool. So thank you for coming here to share that with us.
Of course, of course.
And Tiffany, what's your experience with model making and rigging, and how did you get into VTubing?
I don't make anything.
Perfect.
Oh no.
Absolutely not. I have no artists. I have no drawing bone in my body, so that I'm completely fine with that. But my VTuber Poppy, who is Red Claw, did an amazing job on my model.
Really?
Mm,
Red Claw
mm,
Yeah,
major
Red Claw
model? Oh
draws.
my
Yeah,
god,
yeah,
that's so
yeah.
cool.
He did my model and he's doing my husband's model. So my husband's gonna be
Oh.
my brother.
mm,
Please, no
mm,
Sweet Home Alabama. But um when it comes to VTubing, I got into VTubing because a friend of mine named Kilakuma, who is my 3D parent, was like one of the earliest like exposures. I think she's been VTubing for 3 years now, which is a long time for a VTuber. And I was like, hey, I want to do that because I'm tired of showing my face on the internet because I have lupus and my face scars easily and I'm tired. And she was like, okay, I'll help you out. So she started me out with like a really like my first model, which was my 1.0. Then I went into a 2.0. And now I'm finally in my full 3.0. I do have this in 3D, chibi, and 2D. But yeah, she was my first inspiration into VTubing. She has been like really wonderful, getting me, teaching me a lot of stuff about VTubing. And yeah, yeah, my poppy is really good too.
That's so cool. I love that about I guess I could talk a little bit about myself now too. I like that both in VTubing and VTubers you find people that like do it all themselves, maybe just do the art or just do the rigging or do nothing. It doesn't matter. What
mhm.
matters is like how you put that all together on your channel and the OC that you present and how you express yourself. And I think that's so freaking cool and a parallel to drag. Like not everyone can do a backflip on stage. That's okay.
Yeah.
Not everybody's makeup is awesome. That's okay too. It's just about what you bring, the energy you bring and the whole package that you present and express, I think.
Mhm.
But myself, I got into how did I get in? Vivi, I think it's your fault. I think you were the first.
It's all my fault. I'm sorry.
I think you were. I think
Sorry, not sorry.
you and Elf Gal were some of the first VTubers that I ever saw, and I literally had this moment.
Hmm.
I think we all did, where we were like, "What the holy yes? What is this? What's going on? I want to do this." It's just so my drag, Alexis Atari. Her drag is very much like cartoon, big makeup, clown, and
Mhm.
then I realized, wait a minute, I could just be the cartoon character for real.
Mm.
Um, and that was so awesome. So Vivi did all the art and rigging for this beautiful model you see, including these lovely wings. Wait, where are they?
Mm.
My wings. My
No
wings.
way.
Oh, they don't want to come out. But that's the wrong button. There they
The
are.
little screen. Oh, there
Oh.
they are.
There we go. My whole
Yay.
OBS crashes on accident.
Oh.
But lately I've been dabbling in some model making and rigging myself. Portia mentioned she's getting an upgrade, and I'm making her a potato version of Portia Gesa as a model.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes,
Yes.
in progress. The most gorgeous ooh woo potato you've ever seen. Like
It's fun because
full.
I do. Oh, sorry.
Gonna go for it.
I do like the Snapcam based potato filter with like
I've
a
seen
ponytail
that.
and a purse.
Yeah.
And so I'm just really excited for it, that glow up to happen and just be pure tater.
I'm excited for you. Once you go potato, you never go back.
I
I
mean,
know.
it's true. It's true. Potato lords.
I'll be rolling in the butter.
There you go.
Miss me with that margarine. Anyways,
I expect non-stop potato puns for an hour when you debut it.
oh yeah, I'll totally fry it. It'll be fine.
Please.
Oh my gosh. Um, so now I want to bring it back a little bit towards, why we're all here at Stream Queens Con 3 is a beautiful, vibrant LGBTQIA plus community. And all the people here, I'm curious, how has your experience been in VTubing as a member of the LGBT plus community? Have you found other community? Have you found safer spaces? Do you face any sort of adversity? I just talk about your experience, Tiffany.
I think it's been one of the. Think it's been a greater experience finding more LGBTQIA plus creators because with VTuber you could be anything you want. So like some people creators just don't want to show their faces, protect themselves, but they have their awesome little tags at the bottom. They could be a trans creator and so on. I found this to be one of the best ways to find creators in this space because you can be wherever you want and then feel safe behind your avatar, and that's been wonderful experience. Now are there still hate raids going on? Yes, absolutely.
Hmm.
But and I do get some people in my channel being like, you're non-binary but you have titties, and I'm like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing, isn't it? I love chest fat. Oh my god. And then bam. So it's like one of those things where like I found it to be like such an amazing community that's been welcomed more with the LGBTQIA plus
Mhm.
because we could be a little more protective with us, but we can fully be ourselves with our avatars, and I think that's great. For instance, I had a friend who was transitioning, and she was really scared because she doesn't like showing her face and stuff, but when she got into VTubing, she got to be that person she wanted to be until her transition is finally at the point where she's like found her happiness.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just one of those things where I'm very, very happy with this community, and I love the openness with LGBTQIA plus with it.
That's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Vivi, how has your experience been as LGBTQIA plus in the VTuber scene and communities?
It's been really good. It's been a nice kind of welcome arms with the community and finding so many other people who are within that community here streaming, which has been amazing. A lot of my viewers are LGBT plus. It's been great being able to create a safe space for those people too, and it's and as someone like me being a trans woman, I think I also have so many trans people in my chats as well, and and meeting so many other trans creators. It's VTubing has become such a great space to be able to express that if if you're transitioning and you're able to have a character that you feel more comfortable in, that fits you better, and kind of the gender that you want to be presenting as, it's a great outlet for that, or it's a great way to present yourself in that way. I think that's amazing. So I I think I think uh, streaming and VTubing for that. So
That warms the place in my fairy body where my heart should be. Thank you for sharing that, Vivi. That's so wonderful.
yeah.
Nimbus, how about you?
I've had nothing but an amazing time here in the LGBT VTuber space. If you're ever worried about where to find anyone, just look up the LGBTQ tag, the drag tag here on Twitch. It's so easy to find someone that you can just relate to, um, or just even talk to in that regard, just in someone's chat. I I've had friends of mine who are in the process of transitioning, and I've been through their journey where they get their model and the design process and getting it rigged or whatever, and it's beautiful. It's such an expression. You know, if you can't transition safely
Mhm.
in your real life, but you can, transition with your VTuber, that's such a beautiful thing to see. And like, I'm sorry, I'm a Cancer, so I have to cry once a stream. Okay, I have to get choked up
I'm
once
there with you. I'm there with you.
the water shooting up my nose. But it's truly beautiful, and I, it's just beautiful. If anyone's ever afraid of um being LGBT or queer, and like if they're going to be accepted in this space, please just know you're going to come in here with open arms. I've been in this industry, whatever, for 2 years, this space, and I've seen nothing but love and joy from that regard. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's beautiful.
That's
Mhm.
beautiful. So freaking, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, you're making me
Um,
cry.
but Nimbus, like you said, drag queens, kings, things, creatures. We are the heroes in the IRL bar spaces. I feel like, same thing on Twitch. Drag and VTubers in the LGBTQIA plus community. You know, we're uh, what's a good metaphor? A lighthouse? We're a lighthouse of awesomeness. Come this way
Mhm,
for safer times and maybe some acceptance and community. I think that's so wonderful we can
mhm,
find each other on here.
mhm.
Portia, how's your
So,
experience been so far as a VTuber in the LGBTQIA plus community?
Well, first of all, I'm not part of the LGBT plus community.
Oh,
How dare
okay,
you?
bro.
Oh, okay.
Square up.
I'm flipping this table right now. I'm flipping it.
Snacks will go
uh,
flying.
Take your mayonnaise off the table and see
That's
yourself
right. Get
out.
these chappies away from me. How dare you? No, I'm kidding. Like I mentioned before, I guess I got a little bit ahead of this question, but like I I started streaming when I was still just and not just, but when I was still an NB, and then as I started transitioning, um I just felt like more and more pressure about like always having my makeup done or always being in drag or
Mm,
always like having my
Mhm.
camera on. And so like, Vivi, you were talking about like how, and I mean most people have talked about how affirming the VTuber experience can be, and it's really really
Yeah.
nice to just be able to have this persona and have this representation of yourself that isn't bound to the physical world. And I think it's been really empowering, and everyone's been really really supportive.
Yeah.
There's tons of improvements that I want to make to my model. I would love to go 2D at some point, like we talked about. But like just
mm-hmm.
having this place, and like I haven't had my anxiety in the back of my head has been like someone being like, oh my god, your VTuber is so boring and basic, like where like it's not as cool as other people's. But I haven't had that happen at all, and instead I just like open arms, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, screw that energy. Who wants that in their stream? Your model's boring and basic or not as cool as
Yeah.
someone else's, or for someone to come in and be like, "Oh my god, I was just watching this other person that's not as cool as you." What the hell? No. But yeah, that's really awesome. It's freaking awesome. I just saw it. I'm so emotional right now. Josh. Josh,
Well, I
how
want to
is
make
your make me cry, Josh.
yeah, I want to make you cry. That's what I'm good at. No, I mean, I want to echo what everyone else says, but I mean, I feel like we as like queer people, like whether you're like gay, trans, non-binary, everyone under the LGBTQIA plus community, like I know sometimes like I'm self-conscious about my voice and the way I sound and the way I talk. And when you go into like an online video game and people like hear your voice, because like I used to play Overwatch and they'd hear my voice, like, who's that 17-year-old talk? I'm at the point now in my life where it's like I can take it. But I would say like in the VTuber community on Twitch, I mean, everyone at least that I've met has been, pretty accepting of us. So I really
Mhm.
enjoy that. And like I still consider myself like a baby streamer. I call my chat like the skeleton crew, and some nights we literally are the skeleton crew. like, but when I play like DBD and like people will come in like end game chat, surprisingly everyone, because that community can be kind of toxic, but everyone's been pretty nice. And when there is like a someone with like not a nice thing to say, it's never about like me or my identity. They're just like arguing with like, oh, you tunneled me, you camped me. Which I'm sorry, someone coming into someone's chat and arguing with a virtual VTuber, that is comedy to me. I find that so funny.
Yeah.
I have been slighted by a collection of pixels. How
They never
dare
say like, oh, you bun boy. They don't do that, which I don't know. I think it's funny.
The audacity, the clownery, the clownery. Um, what were we talking about? Oh, yes, for me, the experiences as being queer and a VTuber. I too started hormone therapy this year. I am
Oh.
transgender, non-binary, and I will say there, echo one of what Portia said. There are days when I, want to feel maybe a little bit more feminine, and I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to
Mhm.
do my whole face. Or like, my hair, I don't want to do my hair. And it's really nice to still be able to have this, like, I don't know, this visual euphoria and comfort of becoming Lexi and then being able to talk and interact with people. And they see, I feel like they see me a bit more how I want to be seen with
Mhm.
very little effort. I mean,
Yes.
okay, let's not lie about the real effort of setting up the tech and getting your model working right and all that stuff. But once it's set, it's set. So it's nice to be
Yeah.
able to just like kind of hop on, log in, and look gorgeous. That's the fantasy.
Look gorgeous and still be in your PJs.
I mean,
Hell yeah. That's
I
the
And
reason
pick
we
my
all can
mean,
nose.
be tubers, y'all. We can stream in our underwear. No one will know. No
No one
one will
will
know.
know.
so let's see. We got about 10 more minutes, and then we're gonna take some Q&A from the chat at the end here. But
Mhm.
I'd like to highlight, if everyone would love to speak on this, what are some reasons or benefits behind being a VTuber? I know we've talked a lot about like gender expression, euphoria, how it's more accessible if you have disabilities and can't get out to the club or out to see a show. But I'd
Mhm.
love to give everyone a chance to speak on other benefits or reasons for doing VTubers if we have not spoken on it yet. Tiffany.
For me, it's been. Did I just have a brain fart? Hold on. For me, it's just it is accessible. I like I said, I'm a disabled, chronically ill person, and VTubing has basically changed my life as a content creator. I when I was a skin tuber or flesh tuber, as we like to call them,
Ooh.
um, I did not I did not enjoy content creating. I was in the point of quitting until I became a VTuber, and it reignited everything inside me
Mhm.
to be a content creator, because I didn't have to worry about how I look, but I could still be myself and have a character or avatar that represents what I truly fight for. So yeah, that is my answer. I had a fog for a second, so I just looked at the list like, oh, that's the question. Okay, but yeah, no, that is it's been revolutionary for me as a content creator for sure.
Lovely. Phoebe, reasons or benefits of being a VTuber?
I would say probably the big benefit for me would be like my creativity. I feel like becoming a VTuber has really kind of sparked that for me again because I stopped drawing for a long time. I wasn't drawing for like 4 years.
Oh, wow.
Oh, damn.
But then getting back into VTubing kind of re-sparked that, and my art block kind of went away, and being able to create things again and to share that with people and to inspire people to create things too. Like I love getting to see people what they make. Like like saw Lexi's model that they made recently. It's it's so good.
My little blorb.
Yeah, no, it's so amazing. I love it. Like that stuff. Like I love getting to see what people make and seeing that creative side of the community. And with VTubing being heavily, it's 3D and 2D art, right? It's creating like art pieces and stuff like that, moving art pieces. So I love that.
Nimbus, what are some reasons or benefits behind being a VTuber?
Didn't have to pay 10 grand to get a boob job.
Ah! Depends on
Um,
the physics, I guess. I want
oh,
those
that's true. That's
the
true. That's
10K
true.
physics. Ooh, baby.
My boobs would be on the ceiling and on the ground in like 2 seconds. The jiggle would
Oh
be out of
no.
this world. But no. The community, the creativity, like if there are some nights or some days that I ever feel alone, I always know I have someone to talk to or go to. Even just being here with y'all, this is like another side or another group that I can just talk to and just relate to and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just great. It's just great. I just if you ever feel alone, you always know you have someone there for you. And I've never been a flesh tuber, but I would say at a VTubing is already you already have someone or something you can relate to in some regard to anyone that's a VTuber in some way. But yeah, yeah.
Aw.
Portia, as someone newer to V, what are some benefits that you saw that maybe made you want to take them?
yeah, I feel like I've maybe already answered this question twice, so apologies if I repeat
No, it's
myself.
okay.
But yeah, like just like the relief from dysphoria that I feel like I play clips on my channel when I'm on break. I know many people do, and I like get so uncomfortable when I see older clips of myself where like my 5 o'clock shadow is visible, and like
Mm.
that, like as one example of like how cringy I can feel sometimes. So like just VTubing, it gives so much freedom. I don't have to worry about what I look like. I don't have that like little nagging voice in the back of my head, like telling me that like I look wrong or something. You know. So I get to like focus on entertaining people and like actually interacting with the community more, and I'm not like held up by my inner demons. I also think that like I that the community has been a big boon. I want to give a big shout out to, I just saw him in the chat, DJ Alpha Omega, who is a
Yes.
really good friend of mine and of the just stream queens in general, who's been so kind and supportive throughout this entire process. And all the VTubers I know have just been so kind and supportive and welcoming, and made me feel right at home.
Reason number 56 for becoming a VTuber. All other VTubers are awesome, and we're your best
Mhm.
friends.
Mhm.
Josh, you had mentioned you were streaming as a flesh tuber, but then came back reinvigorated as a VTuber. What are some reasons or benefits behind that?
Yeah. Well, I was never actually like a flesh tuber. I
Oh,
just went like
okay.
I went full camless, which I mean Twitch back then, like I would even say like 8 years ago was like a totally different ball
Yeah.
game. But no, for me, like it's kind of like the same points. It's like I'm very self-conscious about like how I am presented to like other people who are like watching me. I'm at peace with how I sound and how I talk and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know, VTubing kind of takes the stress away from like, oh God, like, do I look tired? Do I look old? I'm bald, like that kind of stuff. Like, and like, I'm one of those gamers where I'm not even kidding here. Like, I'm full on mouth breathing. I'm hunched over. I'm zoomed in. And it's just like, I don't want people to see me like that. So no, it's taken a lot of that kind of stress away. And like I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 for I checked my playtime. It was like 600 and some days, which is like almost two on full
Ooh.
years of imagine yourself just sitting at a computer desk. So for me, it just only felt correct for my like persona per se to be my character from that game because that game has changed my life. So it's very important and special to me, and I kind of want to
Yeah.
like exude that basically.
As someone who just hit 1,000 hours, I totally feel that, and I totally predict myself hitting that point as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that, everyone. We had a few more questions about VTubing and drag, but I feel like we talked a lot about, how both art mediums are forms of expression, of self, of gender, of identity. They can be a place to find community, and they can also be a place, obviously, to make, create, and share art. And we love that.
Mhm.
So for the last 10 minutes or so here, I'd love to open it up to the chat. If anybody in chat would like to ask a question, all you got to do is redeem the channel points. We have two questions loaded in the chamber already. The first one is from Liz ECCTV. What would you like to see in the future for VTubing, technology advances, or whatever? So, thinking into the future, or some things that maybe you're like, I wish this was better. What would you like to see in the future of VTuber technology? Let's start with Josh.
Well, I don't know who Liz is, but I'm just kidding. um, I mean, I've already seen some of it, and I even see like like Vivi's arms are moving. Like I know like there is some technology with like hand and arm movement, but I would like to see that taken even further. I want to be like full on virtual, but like the live 2D style of
Yeah.
VTubing. I think that would be really cool.
Agreed. You can do like finger tracking in live
Yeah,
2D,
yeah,
right? Is it
Yeah.
just like
yeah. There's
Yeah.
like
really
some
hard?
things you can do. Yeah.
Is it just
It's it's
hard?
a it's a matter of like setting up the textures properly
Oh.
and drawing each piece and making sure you have it all set up and someone who knows how to rig it and
Does the camera capture both your hands and arms and hands all fine, or do you have to use like multiple cameras?
yeah, you would have to use like Elite Motion, I think, for that. And so
Oh,
you set it up through the like VTube Studios and all that stuff.
yeah, that's way over my head. I will look into that. I often tell people the reason I can't move my arms is because I gave that power up for all my demon powers.
As most VTubers have.
you know,
Right.
little
Well,
Amber.
that's what you gave up moving your arms so you wouldn't have a gag reflex.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, there you go.
Portia, what would you like to see in the future?
uh,
Can I take is what you were just talking about a hint? Huh?
well, that already exists, honey. I don't have to.
Oh,
I don't have to
okay.
wish that into existence. But I think as an accessibility thing, like the continued optimization of of YouTubing and stuff, because it is pretty demanding on a system.
Mm,
I think that's like the last. I have a NVIDIA 2060, and that with a couple with the game and OBS,
yeah.
and even Discord Open, that kind of pushes my rig to its limits. I don't know if 2D programs are less intense than 3D programs, or
I
would
run
say
a
both?
I run a 1080 and I'm pretty fine. So maybe 3D is more
It depends
intensive.
on
I
the
don't know.
model. It
It really
really
does,
depends
yeah.
on the model because I've seen models, literally 2D models break a computer because it has so much in it.
Yeah.
Layers can do so much.
Yeah. Also, the
Depends if your model has
resolution I think matters a
yeah.
lot too. My,
Yeah.
Viva made my resolution huge. My computer cries about it all the time.
Mhm.
But I
I'm so
wouldn't.
sorry.
I wouldn't have it any other way. You know I'm an HD bitch. But that's a really
Oh
good
man.
point, Portia. I feel like I was surprised myself. I was like, "Oh, it's 2D. It can't be that bad." And then trying to run like PS, OBS, and
Mhm.
then like one game, my computer's like, "Please stop." So that's why I play most of my games on my PS5. Is it's just separate processing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nimbus, what kind of technology would you like to see in the future for VTubers?
Uh, it's already kind of started a little bit, like with the more like bigger like corporate VTubers, but like I think like
Ooh.
VTuber meet and greets are really freaking cool. Like
Yeah.
having yourself on a screen and like meeting someone IRL, and like there's like I saw one where like you can autograph something, but the VTuber will
Yeah.
like
Oh
Yeah, the
do
V
it.
Shoujo
yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Like,
that was
Yeah.
yeah,
cool.
that was super cool, and I know it's, like, just getting started, so I'd love to see where that goes on, you know? Like, you can still be your VTuber 100%, but, like, have that interaction with your
Mhm.
chat even further, you know?
Did they have that stuff
Yeah.
at TwitchCon?
It
Yeah,
was
they
at
had, I think,
TwitchCon and Anime Expo.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Interesting.
Because
What if there was,
I
like,
went to
a
Anime
VTuber.
Expo and I saw them.
See, and,
Yeah.
like, already then, it's already, like, kind of, like, getting the ball rolling, so who knows where it'll be in, like, 5 or 10 years, you know?
Yeah.
But that's something I would love to see, just where that technology gets pushed forward and things like that.
Little drone following you around IRL that you can cast your VTuber into the internet
Well, they
with.
have that.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
shit.
when I went to Anime Expo, they had like a little. It was almost like a mokusho car with like a big monitor that's kind of coming out of it, and they were like, it was cool. It was, I think Iron Mouse was on it or something. They were driving around and they
Oh,
were like pulling it around and they're
that's
saying hi
kind
to
of
everybody.
cool.
Mhm.
It was
That's
cool.
cool. You could like fly around the con saying hi to people.
Yeah.
Now I'm
That's
just
super
imagining like a
sweet.
2 foot tall me, just like Wally style, like in a con, just
Oh my
like
Yeah.
god.
just
Yeah.
zooming around the con,
Yeah.
like little fairy me. Oh my gosh,
Oh
that's
my God, that'd be
amazing.
cool.
Mhm.
Vivi, what kind of technology would you like to see in the future for VTubers?
I think pretty much kind of the stuff that's been said already. I think what we are just talking about, having that kind of like real life interaction would be amazing. Like having my face on a robot running around. Yo, let's go. But like that stuff is like super cool and it's gonna be crazy. Like the amount of stuff that's changed in the past 2 years has been insane. Like just looking at just 2D stuff that we can do now. You got rebridgers now with the new advanced mouth trackings and face tracking, and now you have hand tracking now for 2D as well. Um, it's crazy. It's getting crazy. I think another thing that's been said too is optimizing everything, being able to have things be easier to optimize so that it's more accessible to people, or maybe maybe easier forms of being able to do the things that we do so it's more accessible for people, especially
Mm-hmm.
like if people are getting into live 2D, maybe you know stuff for that. But yeah.
Nice. Tiffany, how about you?
So as mentioned before, I am an accessibility consultant advocate, and there's a couple things that I know VTubing is on the we're on the verge of that with such VTubers such as Intrea, with the text to
Hmm.
speech talking through the model, which
Mm.
is
Hmm.
very revolutionary, honestly, because like the model does follow the mouth and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
something I've been hearing from the deaf community is that they want something for better hand tracking for them when they're
Yeah.
communicating with their 3D
Ooh.
models.
Oh.
Oh, did
And
you
that's the mhm.
oh, I saw, did you see the thing that came out recently? There's something came out for that, I think.
The Sony thing.
Something with the VR chat, and they had like better tracking for VR
Yeah,
chat
it's
or
with
something
VR
like that.
chat. Yeah, they have better hand
Yeah.
tracking
That's so
for like
cool.
sign language. Yeah. It's slowly getting something improved on. It's something I cannot wait to see more of.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to see more accessibility friendly things for the disabled and chronically ill community. And that's what I want to see for V2B in the future.
Yes, and absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We got time for one more question, and then we'll do our closing statements. From peculiar little rabbit. Hey, how you doing, rabbit? Nice to see you in here. For the VTubers that haven't done drag, what would your drag persona? Oh, this is good. What would your drag personas be like? For those who've done
Ooh.
both, if you ever had to rebrand your VTuber persona, what would you be? I'm gonna take this question first. So, I've done both VTubing and drag, and I'm still new. But if I did have to rebrand my VTuber, I would want to make it a more creature. I think some like creature VTubers that I see that are less humanoid and more like uh I don't know, like a lizard or a dinosaur, like Red Quadraws, or like
Mhm.
those the rigging and the art and everything that you have to do to make it come to life just seems like so much more involved, and I guess I'm a glutton for punishment. Like that's what I would do. But Tiffany, if you ever did drag, what would your drag persona be like?
I actually have a drag name.
Yes.
It's
Oh,
called Dotany.
Botany.
yes.
Ah, work. Love
I act
her.
it started out because I have a male night elf in World of Warcraft named
Oh.
Dotany. And he is literally me but in male form. So yeah, that would be my persona. I would actually make myself a warlock, with a boob window, with a nice sexy boob window,
Ooh.
kind of like George, goddamn, from JoJo, basically JoJo style. And like, yeah, he would be a tall, sexy, dark elf warlock named
Love.
Dotany.
That's
I,
So,
beautiful.
a thought of war, if you will.
Yes.
Vivi, how about you?
Oh
What would your
gosh,
drag persona be like?
I don't even know. I like the idea that you said was like kind of a creature, so maybe like some like
Creature drag, yes.
evil woodland creature or something, crawling around or something.
Do you know of Dracula?
I don't I don't think
Oh,
so.
that's a great show.
Dracula is like a more alternative version of like a reality competition show. It's like
Oh.
creatures, a lot of SFX makeup. You'd probably really like it. Yeah,
Ooh.
check it
Okay,
out.
I'll have to check that out. Okay.
Dragula. Yes.
Dracula.
Yes. Yes. Nimbus, how about you? Big Titty Fairy?
Oh, I'd just be a boob with a nice 301 lash, above the nipple.
Just a boob.
Please.
Yeah. I have to be a male presenting boob though, because TOS, but
Oh
like that's
yeah.
okay. I'll
Oh
do it. I'll
yeah.
do it. Yeah. But yeah, a nice stick figure 301 booba eyelash VTuber. That be me. I don't know what the name would
Ooh.
be. I'll think of
Ooh.
something. I'll think of something.
Portia, if you were to rebrand your VTuber, how would you rebrand?
It's interesting because it never occurred to me because again I'm still very new. It didn't really like occur to me that my VTuber could be a separate character than me.
Yeah.
And I'm like very like mono branding. Like my character in Final Fantasy 14 is Portia Gesa. I've been calling this character Portia Gesa, but it does occur to me that you remember I did have an in IRL drag rebrand for a couple of
Yeah.
years. And I was actually Astronomicon, Dark
Ooh, is
Princess
she
of the
coming
Planet
back?
Gluten 3. So it would be interesting to maybe Astra could come back as the VTuber. That would be very interesting.
Ooh.
Mm.
I agree. Let's talk. Josh, if you
Yeah.
were to do drag, what would your drag persona be?
As a VTuber, I want to be like a really, really, really fat cat. Like chins
Yes,
on chins on chins, heavy
the
breathing.
cutest.
Too
That's
much is never
beautiful.
enough. I don't know, drag names though. Like I know it's been said before, but like the name Sarah Problem just speaks to me.
Oh, there is somebody. We know
Oh.
her. We know her. She's isn't she Portia, is she still doing drag?
No. That's
Sarah Problem.
Zero converted.
Oh
Oh
my
Zero
god.
converted.
no. No, I'm thinking of Sarah Slay.
I didn't know you were being
Oh,
serious.
seriously.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sarah Slay. Anyway, we're running out of time here, so I want to make sure that I thank everyone and that everyone has a chance for a closing statement. Say who you are, where they can find you, quick self promo, whatever you like. My name is Lexi. I'm the two-dimensional manifestation of Alexis Atari. When she's too lazy to do drag, you'll find me on my channel, probably doing something I don't know, inappropriate. Tiffany, it was so lovely to have you. Do you have any closing statements?
Oh no, not at all. I'm actually taking a 2 week break from streaming. So, but you can find me at twitch.tv/ Tiffany Witcher, when I'm doing a charity stream talking about accessibility, JoJo, or just being a degenerate. You can find me there.
Phoebe, it was so lovely to have you. Do you have any closing statements?
My name's Demon Queen Vivi. I'm an evil demon fae. I'm a live 3D model maker. I do the rigging and arts. And you can find me if you just really on anything. If you look up Demon Queen Vivi, you'll find me anywhere on Twitter and on Twitch. So
Nimbus, you're on.
Hi, I'm Nimbus. You can find me anywhere by Nimbus Faye. And yeah, I'm starting streaming again next week. I took a little break because I got bronchitis, and that's like,
oh no.
no one wants to hear me mute the mic every 20 seconds. But like, yeah, y'all. Yeah, Nimbus Faye everywhere, and yeah. Mwah.
Portia, Gaysa, darling, it's been so lovely having you. It's so surreal, IRL bestie. Any closing statements?
It is wonderful the journey we've been on together, Lexi. I'm so excited. But yeah, my name's Portia Gesa. I play Final Fantasy 14 on Fridays, and I play Fortnite on Saturdays. So if you like any of those games, come say hello. And if you like mozzarella sticks, come and tell me what your favorite dipping sauce is.
And holding up the other end of the table, Josh Skellington. Any last
Yeah.
words?
I'll try to make it short and sweet. You can find me pretty much on all platforms under Josh Skellington VT. I stream live here Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. But yeah, I'm also a crafter. And if anyone here is in the Miami area, I will be boothing at Otaku Fest this January 13th through the 15th. So if you're
Ooh,
there, please come
Oh.
see me, say hello.
Otaku
Yeah.
Fest. Wait, I think that. Yes, okay. Well, everyone, thank you for diving into the world of VTubers and drag with us today. Stick around, there's going to be a great panel coming up next about JRPGs, and there's lots more Stream Queens content all weekend long. My name's Lexi. Grab a snack, grab a drink, hug a friend, and thank you all for being here. Bye bye.
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 Bye.